WCBG is broadcasted from Wagner College in Staten Island, New York. WCBG, small college, big voice. This is Jeanine, and today's interview is with the budding independent artist Christine, and her new tracks are super lit to listen to, so stay tuned for this interview.
Hello.
Hi, is this Christine?
Yeah, this is Christine.
Hi, this is Jeanine from WCBG.
Hey, Jeanine. How you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. Getting started with my day.
It's been a day already, but it's always good. So I want to thank you so much for talking with me. I greatly appreciate it.
No, thank you so much for having me.
I listened to your tracks, and I was like, your music's fantastic. And I love the message of just having younger artists. Like, you guys are the voice of our generation, so it's great talking to people like that.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm loving the music that I'm making, and I'm glad that you liked it.
So my first question for you is, how did you know you wanted to go into music?
Well, so I've been singing since I was very young. Since I was maybe like 3 or 4 years old, I used to sing Shirley Temple songs. And it's just something that's always been in me, but I think the first time that I actually consciously decided that I wanted to be a singer was the first time I got on stage. And I was 11 years old, and I sung a Mandy Moore song.
That's so cute. I love how, like, you knew, like, there was a moment where you were like, this is it, like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it was, I was so nervous getting to, performing that day because I didn't tell anybody. Like, I didn't tell my family that I was going to be on stage. It was me and my friends had come up with, like, a little choreography, and the first, like, verse of the song that I started singing, I didn't even know if I was, like, a good singer. I just I was just singing because I liked it. And then once I started singing and connecting with, I saw like the crowd was connecting with what I was doing, and then I enjoyed it while, going through the song, and I was like, wow, this is something I love. I need to do this.
I love that. So what is your writing process like?
So my writing process, it kind of changes. It varies on the songs that I'm writing. If I'm collaborating with another artist or with a producer, then I kind of feel out what their vibe is, like what the energy of the song is, if it's like upbeat, if it's going to be something more mid-tempo, and sometimes they'll give me stories or I'll like run ideas by them, and then based on that write and make sure that I match the energy of the beat that they've produced. But if it's something of my own, it's 100% like based on my feelings. Like anything that's happened to me, any experience I had, and if I just need to let it out, then I start writing like a melody, and usually like on my guitar, like that's every single song I've written has been on my guitar basically.
That's sweet. I love asking that question because I feel like inspiration comes from everywhere and everything. So It's nice to see, like, as you said, like, you write for your emotions and your feelings, and I think that's so important for artists today.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. It's the whole point about making music or any sort of art is to connect with people, and to connect, you need to just be honest with yourself first. And if you're kind of censoring yourself of like, oh, I don't want to say this because I don't want people to perceive me as this, or I don't want to say this because it's a little too honest, I think that definitely people can hear that in the music. They can hear when you're kind of holding back, or maybe you're just kind of presenting something you're not. So I think it's definitely important to just let the feelings take over your body, take over your mind, and just let it out in your music.
I love that. So on that note, what's your favorite lyric that you've ever written?
Oh my gosh. Let me think. I was actually listening to my song Castaway this morning, and there's a line that I say, it goes, leave your maybes or your perhaps for someone else. And it's one of my favorite lyrics that I've written because it's directly related to a situation that happened to me where a guy kept telling me, like we were talking, and he kept telling me, maybe we'll go do this. And then another time he'd be like, oh, maybe we can hang out. Or it was always like maybe, and never a definitive like, let's go hang out. So I feel like it was just very direct, and that's what I love about that line.
The song was a great song. Can you tell me a little bit about the story behind it?
Right. So the inspiration of Castaway. So I'm basically working on an EP, and I started writing a bunch of different songs and kind of piecing them together, seeing what the main theme was for it. And the main theme of the EP is, or of the thread of these songs is, longing. Longing for somebody, longing for something. That's the general vibe of it. And Castaway embodies that feeling of kind of yearning to be with somebody who is not emotionally there, and just questioning the reasons why, or realizing that if they're not at that same point, then you can just kind of move on.
I love the message behind that. I think it's something that is so relevant, and that's what I really liked about your song, because I feel like it's speaking to so many people. It's this relatability thing, which I definitely look for in artists, and I was thrilled to see that.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I think it's, especially when there's, I think, a story behind it. It's something that happens all the time. Like, you either, especially nowadays, it's you with like social media and with your, everybody on their phone. It's a lot easier to kind of push plans behind when you're just getting to know somebody, and there are so many options or perceivable options. And you can, I think, get lost in that and not actually connecting with people, but you make a song out of it.
So we have a question that we have been asking everyone because it gives very different answers, and we love hearing what artists think. The question is, what is your opinion of releasing an artist's unreleased music after they've passed away? Should it be released or should it not?
Interesting. I feel like here's the thing. Anytime an artist is creating something, they're doing it because they want to let the world listen to it. I mean, generally, it's obviously, if it's an unfinished project or something that they had planned to release, I think that if their team was aware of that, if people were aware that they wanted to release that music, and for whatever reason, unfortunately they passed away, then I think they should let the world listen to it. Absolutely. It was meant to be shared.
That's a great answer. I feel like it's so hard because, like, as a fan, you always want to hear more music. And then at the same time, it's like, would the artist have been happy with this product? But you're right. If there is a team behind them and they know, like, this was the intent. I haven't heard that answer before. It's a very good one.
Thanks.
Okay. So what music are you currently listening to?
Oh my God. So I just discovered, I'm a little late to the game, but I just started listening to Casey Musgraves, and her album, The Golden Hour, is amazing. I love it. I just have it on replay every single day. It's amazing.
And what artists inspire you to become a better musician?
I have a variety of artists. In terms of, I have a very wide range of artists that I love. Like, I love Britney Spears, I love Christina Aguilera, and then on the other end, I love The Cure and U2 and Snow Patrol and a lot of like 80s bands. So I think just seeing like every single one of their trajectories and like legacy, and kind of analyzing what it is that I like about them and what I like about the career that they've had, that kind of pushes me through. And I actually just recently, last year, I saw The Cure in concert, and they're in their, I don't know, 60s or 70s, and they perform exactly like they did in the 80s. Like, they have that energy, they're masterful at their instruments. Like, you just see that they sound exactly like they did in the 80s, and that definitely inspired me to want to achieve that as well.
I love that. I think it's fantastic. That actually leads to my next question of, what's your favorite concert that you've been to?
It's got to be The Cure. Just because it's so fresh in my mind. It was so amazing. Everybody, there were people there of like all different ages, and especially kids that were, 10 years old, they're with their parents, but they were enjoying it so much, and that just shows like how the how timeless their sound is.
That's so true. I love that. And I think it definitely relates because as a younger artist, it's so nice to see like how the longevity of music is and the impact it has on everyone. So
Exactly.
what advice would you have for anyone who's looking into getting into the music industry?
I would say you need to find the reason why you want to do it. If it's absolutely your absolute passion and it's something that you need to breathe, and you need to, without it you can't live without it. I'd say then you have to make sure that you hone your talent, it's great to have raw talent, but definitely to work on your instruments, to work on your songwriting, to write every single day, because you're always going to have to become better at it. You're going to have those, not so good songs. And it's all practice, and it's all learning what your voice is, and finding your voice, especially, finding what's going to make you stand out and be different than everybody else, but also just making sure that you stay true to yourself always.
That's great advice. I think that's fantastic, and I love how you focus on talking about how staying true to yourself is so important, and it definitely comes across in your music, and I just can't wait to hear more from you in the future. So that leads to my next question. Can you describe your sound for me in 3 words?
Ooh, ooh. Let's see. I would say honest. Mm, Multicultural. Throw that in there. And flowy.
Nice. I think those go well together, and I like asking this question because I know it is hard.
Yeah, I was like,
But as you said earlier, it's a way to help like you hone in on your sound and be who you want to be. And I love seeing that, especially in younger artists who are going to be making strides and like defining our next 20 years. Like I it's crazy. I love it.
Yeah, thank you. I know, like, I've noticed recently, like, especially defining my sound. I listen to a lot of mid tempo songs. I love upbeat songs. Like, I love dance music and techno and all these house music as well. And I love ballads, slower tempos. But I'm definitely more of a mid tempo girl. Like, kind of the songs that you can listen to in your car, kind of relaxing, a beach day, bopping your head to. That's definitely my speed.
Yeah, like those type of songs where you're like sitting in your car with the windows down, and like it's like a nice day out, and trying to paint the picture.
Exactly.
So I have a few more questions for you. What do you like to do when you're not writing music?
So I'm an artist through and through, and when I'm not writing music, I'm painting. I'm either like, you know doing like a canvas, an acrylic painting, oil painting, or I'm doing some sort of arts and crafts. And if I'm absolutely not doing anything art related, then I'm at the beach or watching a movie.
That's sick. I love how you can paint. Like I'm not artistic, so anyone who can do that, mad props.
Oh, you can paint.
Oh,
You just don't know it yet. You don't know it yet.
maybe. What are 3 must-have songs on a road trip?
Ooh. Okay. 3 must-have songs on a road trip. I'm gonna go with "Golden Hour" by Casey Musgrave. I'm gonna go with "Just Like Heaven" by The Cure, and I feel like I'm gonna have a Britney song in there. Let's put in "Sometimes." In my road trip, we're gonna listen to Britney. "Sometimes" by Britney.
Nice. You got this. Like I think I would love to jam out with you in the car just by like hearing what you've been listening to.
Exactly. We had a great time.
So what's your most important album in your personal collection that you have?
Ooh, let's see. Let's see. So there's the first album, or one of the most important albums that I have is probably Charlie XCX, her True Romance album. It's phenomenal. It's her first album. I think she did it when she wasn't signed, and every single song is so original. The whole soundscape is so cohesive, and it's it's just a pop masterpiece.
What is your opinion of streaming services like Spotify?
I think they're great platforms to discover new music. Absolutely.
Great for exposure, always.
Mhm.
And what is one thing you would change about the music industry as it is today?
Let's see. I mean, it's a little tricky, but I think what I would change is that I would change the fact that they're not taking such great chances on new artists. You know, in the past, the music industry, they were very open and very what's the word I'm looking for? They were just very brave to really believe in an artist or find an artist that they can just see raw talent and invest in them and kind of like take a risk. That's what the word I'm looking for. They were very open to taking risks on new artists. And now it's very much so on numbers and views and things like that, which are important, but they're not the most important thing. So that's what I would change, you know, to have a little more of some risk takers.
I definitely agree. Sometimes, like, when I listen to the radio, I feel like I want to hear more original. Like, not that everything's not original, but I mean more of this raw. And I feel like sometimes we're disconnected from this raw sound.
I agree. Yes, I would agree, and I think it's because of that. It's a small bubble, and if you stay in that bubble, everybody eventually just keeps doing the same thing. I mean, every artist has their own voice and their own identity, absolutely, but the culture and the bubble it's the same thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. I definitely understand that. So, my last question for you is, what are your plans for the new decade of 2020?
Ooh, my new plans. Well, definitely making a lot more music. You know, finally getting my EP out there, performing here in LA. Hopefully getting a chance to go to New York as well and find some places to perform at, and just, you know, always moving forward and honing in more on my talent. I definitely want to always say that every single year I've gotten better and better in my singing, in my songwriting, and just in general as a musician, and always being connected with my family and my friends. I think that's so important.
Always grinding, and I do love how you said that your family and friends they're always going to be there to support you, and I feel like some people forget that these are like the key people in your life, and I love how you reference them just in talking about your plans for 2020.
Exactly. If you're doing this on your own, it's impossible to make it. You need to have life in general. You need to have that support system, your family and your friends, and even if it's not directly involved with your music, just, you know, for your sanity.
That's so true. It is. And I do love how you said you would love to one day come to New York. Fun fact, School of Rock was filmed at my college. So.
What?
Yes.
No way! That's amazing.
So our main classroom building is actually the exterior of Harris Green Prep School. So like that big iconic shot where like Jack Black's driving on like the grass and then pulls up in front of the school, that's my school.
Wow, do you recreate scenes? Like you know, do you ever recreate School of Rock scenes since it's there?
I feel like most people here forget sometimes because they're like, oh, it's just the building we have class in. But I do have to say, like, I think it's one of the connecting factors in music. Like, I never realized how impactful the movie was, especially on people about our age. And I think it's wonderful. And, yeah, I wish I remembered most of the time instead of just being like, oh, yeah, I just have to go to my math class that happens to be in this iconic building.
Oh, wow. That is so cool. Well, I mean, next time, you know, make a little video. Put it on Instagram.
Yeah, we probably should do these things. So, Christine, I do appreciate you talking to me, and I have one more thing I would like you to do. I would like you to say something to your fans.
Ooh, well, first of all, thank you so much, Jeanine, for having me and for our conversation. I really loved it. I want to say to my fans, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for listening to my music, for adding it on your playlist on Spotify, for listening to it on YouTube and everything. And most importantly, just thank you for connecting with it, because that's the reason why I make music. I want you to connect to the song. I want you to not feel alone. And I want you to just be open to expressing yourself and every single one of your feelings, whether it's happy, sad, angry. You should just appreciate everything that you have and be grateful that you're alive. And that's what music is there for, to help you express all those feelings. So thank you so much. And you can follow me at all the social media as Christine Music Official. Love you all.
Well, that was so sweet. And thank you again. I really appreciate it. It was awesome talking to you. Can't wait to see what you do in the next decade.
Woo! Thank you so much, Jeanine. You're so sweet. You're so lovely. And yes, hopefully I'll make it sometime in New York this year and maybe meet you.
Oh, I'd love for that to happen. You're fantastic. So thank you.
Bye, Jeanine.
Bye. Again, that was Christine, and next up is her new song, Castaway. So take a listen.